Well, thank you all for being here. I'm so excited to talk with you. So we have Tim Minix, who is, most of you know Tim, he is an OP. He has 4 market centers. We're talking with his team here in El Paso, Texas today. Sarah Sanchez, Director of Operations, and April, their cyber recruiter. So Tim, you started with Cyber Recruiter about 15 months ago. And I wanted you just to kind of tell your story a little bit of why you, as an OP, decided to hire your own cyber recruiter, right, versus somebody for the team leader or whatnot, and hired your own as an OP, and then what your experience has been, and what your vision is now based on the experience that you had. Before I turn that over to you, let me just kind of give everybody, some numbers. So a year ago, you were at net minus 20 for the year. Right now, you're at a net 109, plus 109. So that, I think everybody would agree, is just an incredible turnaround. You have had indies specifically that you folded in. You're working with a couple indies right now that have over 350 agents. You have a great pipeline. And you have a unique story. So, Tim, let me just kind of turn that over to you. A year, 15 months ago, what was your reason that you wanted to hire a cyber recruiter?
It's kind of simple. I was a little bit at my wit's end trying to figure out how to actually change the trajectory. Instead of having momentum that was positive, we were actually moving in the wrong direction. And you're, as my MAPS coach, mentioned an option and said there's been some good results from it that people are having. And I really didn't have much to lose. I went in a little skeptical, not knowing much about it. I've never had a virtual assistant of any kind. And so I just went in and I was impressed with the process for hiring and interviewing and training. And I've continued to be very impressed. So my reason was because I felt like we had to change the way that the market center was moving, and we had to find a way to start growing again. And so we'd been pretty flat for a long time. And I was just so impressed with the ability to actually leverage appointment setting, which I really didn't ever think could be done. And because I'm involved in 3 other market centers, and I live 350 miles away from El Paso, it was challenging. And honestly, the cyber recruiter, the cyber backer company has changed everything for me. Now, we also hired some amazing people, a team leader that has been phenomenal. He has elevated his staff. Sarah's been with us longer than any other staff person. He found a perfect role for her, and she is now just killing it. She focuses on recruiting, and I'll let her talk more about that, but people that are unlicensed or that have very few units. I focus on indies and R2s. And then we support our team leader, who right now, by the way, is not even having time to proactively have recruit appointments. He just takes the ones that come in or that Sarah and I tee up for him, because there's been so much growth. He's focusing on taking care of all the agents that we have.
Yeah, so this is very unique, because you as an OP, what you just said there is that you are doing recruiting appointments with R2s and indies, which is why you hired your cyber recruiter at the beginning, because you're 350 miles away. When you would come in weekly, you wanted to have a full calendar and schedule of R2s and indie appointments. And tell us a little bit about what happened, right? I mean, how, because you started your goal, if I remember, was that, hey, I wanted to have about 15, and then I want to have 20 appointments a month. And then all of a sudden you were having 40 indie and R2 appointments a month, literally set by your cyber recruiter. And obviously you had some incredible success and fold in and everything that's happened in a great pipeline of indies right now. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much nailed the numbers. At the time that I hired their cyber recruiter, I was struggling even to have a handful of appointments each month. And once I started out kind of modestly thinking, well, if I could have 16 appointments, 4 a week, come in every week, that would be a real success. Then we started doing that, and it seemed like pretty easily. And so we went to 20. And so that seemed to be easy. Then we said, well, let's up the game. We need to have even more results. And so then we raised the goal to 30. My cyber recruiter was setting 30 appointments a month. And then within probably 3 months, we were challenging the cyber recruiter to have 40 appointments a month, which she was hitting. And so, and this is in addition to the appointments that Sarah was having and setting on her own.
Yeah. So speaking of that, so Sarah, now a month ago, your cyber recruiter, April, transitioned. Well, I shouldn't say transition because she's still getting appointments about 2 a day for you, Tim, with R2s and indies, but started also focusing on setting R1s to enhance your appointment setting, Sarah. That you were already doing and have been doing for years. And if my numbers are right, in the first month, you've had 54 appointments, which doesn't count, Tim, the appointments that you've had or your team leaders had in addition. So how is that changing things for you, Sarah, as the director of operations and recruiting those R1s?
Well, right off the bat, I went from average 22 appointments a month on my own, which is kind of difficult in my opinion, to literally April being able to set. She actually scheduled 73 appointments and we had some cancellations and we ended the month with 54, right? So I more than doubled my appointments in 1 month, right? And so my average before was 6 recruits now. So I'm really looking forward to see what it's going to look like by, November, December timeframe.
Yep. And so Tim, let's real quick before we'll turn it over to April. What's your vision now that you see what's happening, this pipeline that's building on for you and the 65 agent fold in that you had in July or June, and the pipeline that you have with R2s, but also what's happening with Sarah, and now this pipeline of R1 starting to build. What's your vision as an OP? What do you see is in store for you?
Well, by the end of 2025, our vision is to have at least 500 agents and be $1 million market center in terms of owner profit.
Love that. So April, you can wrap us up here. So tell me, what do you attribute your success to? What do you like most about the team that you're on and working with this group?
Of course. Well, I've been in partner with Tim in growing his business for almost 9 months now. It has been a blast, truly. I'm so lucky and honored that he has chosen me as his cyber recruiter. And what I like working with Tim and Sarah is that Tim is really someone I really look up to. He has a great mind and his values are really great as a person. He's super hardworking. He gets up 5 a.m. in the morning every day. He drives 6 hours one way to Lubbock, from Lubbock to El Paso to meet with agents that I've set appointments with for him, right? And he truly has a great reputation in the industry. So I'm truly honored. And Sarah, on the other hand, she's she's much fun to work with. She's really down to earth and easy to get along with. So she's a beautiful person inside and out, I think. So both of them are really go-getter, and I deliver my appointments, make sure that they follow up with the appointments that I've set, and I can attribute 75% of my success to both of them for really making sure that they are meeting with these leads that I set appointments.
Well, I think that's real important because there's no doubt that you're a rock star cyber recruiter. I mean, there's no doubt. We have almost 300 cyber recruiters in Keller Williams now working for leadership, and you're a rock star. So I think that what's important, what you said there, is that you guys are a team. You communicate on a regular basis. You're working hard to set appointments, and your team wants to make sure that they're delivering when they're executing those appointments. And that's why you have so much synergy, and I can see that that's what motivates you as well. So thank you all for being here today. Continued success. I'm so excited. I can't wait to see what's in store for you next year. So thank you so much again for your time. Have a great rest of the day. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Rich. Thank
Thanks,
you,
Rich.
everyone.
Bye,
Thank you.
bro.